Hi, partners. Welcome back to another review on the channel. So, this is something that we're going to be doing that hasn't been done since, let me think. Oh man, last time we did this was probably 7 years ago when I did two reviews in one video. And this time, I got Jessica and Alexa joining me.
Oh man. Woo!
We're going to be reviewing both the original and the reboot of True Grit. The original starring John Wayne and the reboot starring Jeff Bridges.
Okay.
Now, now for those who aren't familiar with True Grit, this is based on a book, and it's about this teenage girl who enlists the help of two people of the law who are reluctant to go on this adventure with each other, and the teenager goes along for the ride as they try to hunt down the man that killed her father.
I got cowgirl boots. Should I put them on?
No. Okay, so um, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I think we can all agree both movies are really, really good.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, I can agree to that.
Yeah. And it just goes to show that you can do a good remake.
Hmm.
Nowadays, we don't see a lot of good remakes. Some try, don't do as well as the original. And well, you said you didn't like this one, the remake, as much as the original, right?
Yeah, but I think I like both for different reasons, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Hold on.
Um, the remake does stick closer to the book,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
the remake is directed by the Coen brothers, who we know for The Big Lebowski, and
Yep.
they put some of their Coen brothers weirdness into the movie. Like my favorite character from the remake, the Bear Man. The Bear Man was made up for the movie. He is weird. He's in one scene, and I love him. And I was smart just to keep him in that one scene because it just lets us it makes us think, what's this guy's deal? What's his story? We only get what we know from the scene. But he's a great inclusion.
Now, I think one of the things that make this unique is that,
I'm good.
at least what I think makes the original unique, is that I think it kind of like gives us, or is one of the first movies to give us like the trope of like two people going on an adventure together. They're trying to like solve a mystery or whatever, and
Hold
like
on.
one is like straight,
Yeah.
it's like straight by the book, and the other is like doing things their own way.
Yeah.
Another thing
Um,
is about
the one with
Western.
John Wayne, I think, helped originate that, at least from what I've seen, because I don't know
Yeah.
if any movies that came out before or around that time did the same thing.
Yeah.
Another.
Um,
Yeah.
and the teenager was kind of portrayed as a tomboy, I would say.
Yeah, Maddie Ross, that's her name in every
Yeah.
version. Yeah, Maddie's an interesting character. I like how cold she is in the remake. That was something I really liked a lot. Um, she's played by Haley Steinfeld, who we know from a lot of stuff these days. She's in Arcane, she's in Hawkeye, she's in a lot of stuff.
He's in the Spider Verse movies.
Oh yes, and Spider-Verse movies. But this was like one of her early roles. Then she fell off acting for a bit, and then came back with all these roles we just mentioned.
Hmm.
Yeah. Arcane also. I've seen clips from Arcane.
Yeah, Arcane's really good too. But we're focusing on True Grit.
Yeah.
And apparently she won an Oscar for it.
Okay.
So like an actress thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, best actress. Yeah.
Another
Um,
thing is when the Old West, like I studied spaghetti westerns majors class, reading ranks actually during COVID as an undergraduate landmark. The environment in the Old West alone, and I've seen videos on this. It's a very grueling environment. Like you have to worry about waterborne diseases, Indian attacks, and also campsite
and
raiding.
this move and these both these movies, I think, do a good job um with their environments. Like this isn't spaghetti at all. This is
Yeah,
pretty serious, which I
which I've
think is
Yeah.
heard.
great.
Yeah,
Ex um Great subversion of genre. We see I mean, the Bear Man is collecting people's teeth. We see the hanging body in the remake too, that the Bear Man gets at the end.
Hmm.
it happened.
Um, you see the one guy in the original is like hacking the turkey to death,
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
and then stabs his partner. when he's about to divulge information that's vital.
And then
We
it's like,
see,
yeah.
so one of the things that should be clear is that the guy who kills Maddie's father, his name is Tom Chaney, and also another big actor for the remake, Josh Brolin plays him,
Huh.
who we all know is Thanos. But anyways,
Interesting.
so he's more of like a henchman to this bigger villain, and it's more like this bigger villain just does not want to put up with this. It feels like he was kind of roped into this situation he did not want any part in, which makes that character work. And even in some scenes, we see his own men sacrifice themselves for him.
Mm-hmm.
In the original, they show that the one who sacrificed himself was like a kid Maddie's age, which shows you how dark this can get.
Oh, definitely.
Even Maddie getting bit by the rattlesnake at the end,
Mm-hmm.
pretty dark. And the remake, she loses an arm. Spoiler for the remake. I guess
mean,
just spoiling this.
medicine, yeah, back then, wasn't as primitive. People still thought that bloodletting, I'm pretty sure, was a way to cure what ails you. And
I think they were a little better at medicine.
yeah, like really, it was like germ theory hadn't even been like established. So it's like, imagine being like the town doctor, like, yeah, like rattlesnake bites were probably as common today as maybe falling off the roof, cleaning your gutters, like level, like common, I would imagine.
Actually, I would disagree there. I live in Texas. I've only ever seen one rattlesnake.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, our house is old. This part of the house, like,
Alexa?
snakes, rattlesnakes are actually like, if you ever hike the they tell you to watch out. Like, if you camp out, which my friend Hazel has done, check your tent and your boots for snakes before you put things on. It's kind of like crazy. I know. I'm just saying my experience with
Okay.
knowledge of snakes is a little interesting. So.
Anyways, so they are edible. Did you guys know that?
Yes, they are. It tastes like chicken.
Yes, I've eaten a
Honestly,
rattlesnake
I did
before.
not need to know. Honestly,
I ate a rattlesnake when I was 5 years old. That was fried.
Yeah.
We're grossing out Will. I didn't tell you this, Boo.
No, and now I'm starting to wish you didn't. Honestly,
and Alexa's right. They taste like chicken.
Oh no! Now I'm still not interested.
We're just gonna gross out Will for this.
So in that case, would you like some?
I'm done with this review. I'm checking out.
You want some beans, some
kidding.
whistleberries? Beans are always a good thing. Yay!
Okay.
So yeah, I also think this is just something that I think can go without saying. That if you were to name a list of some of the best actors to perform in a Western movie, then surely John Wayne's name would come up a lot.
Yeah. And even some of the supporting, I forget who those. I think because we are not very familiar with those actors from the original.
Right.
I think it is hard for me to come up with their names, but
yeah,
I'm sure those actors were also really good too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hold on, I'm gonna look good.
Yeah, we gotta look up these names.
Glenn Campbell played LaBeouf.
Okay, that was the Matt Damon in the remake.
Yep.
The Texan Ranger who is the counterpart to.
We have Dennis Hopper.
Wait, Dennis Hopper was in the original?
Yeah, he was Moon.
Oh, the henchman, that one henchman who has barely a few lines.
Yeah.
John Wayne also have some non-Western roles. I feel like he did in his career. I remember reading that.
I'm surprised because I'm familiar with Dennis Hopper from the Super Mario Brothers movie. He was King Koopa in that.
So the question is, okay, Dennis Hopper makes me think that his acting folio is wider than maybe you'd think, which would explain a lot.
He was King Koopa in the Super Mario's movie, the bad one.
That is interesting.
Yeah. And the other interesting part, I'm looking this up right now.
Yeah.
This movie came out in 1969, and John Wayne passed away 10 years later.
Rip John Wayne.
Rip John Wayne. I think easily one of the best, like, I guess, tough guy actors to ever live.
Yeah, from that old style filming, yeah.
Yeah, like him, Clint Eastwood, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all those guys.
Well, Schwarzenegger can be silly.
Yes.
I guess, but I think people mostly affiliate him with, like, a lot of action stuff.
Yeah, Terminator.
Yep.
Predator. Even Predator's kind of silly. Did you know that off topic, but did you know that that was supposed to be a sequel to Rocky?
Yes. Yep.
The Predator.
The first Predator movie was supposed to be a Rocky sequel where he fights an alien.
Now okay. To be honest, I kind of want to see that now.
Yeah, apparently Arnold is playing the stand-in for Rocky, and Carl Weathers is he's in both Rocky and Predator.
Right.
It was supposed to be the same character.
Now you kind of have me interested. Like,
You
there's
didn't know this?
no, I actually didn't.
I also remember reading somewhere that, and I don't know if this is true, so don't take my word for this, but I remember something about Jean-Claude Van Damme was going to play the Predator at one point.
I think I heard that too. Might have on the AVP wiki I read that or something.
I
Yep.
mean, it sounds interesting, but I think the Predator are just better off, like, just being people in suits or just being CG.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Yeah, when
Predator's
you do
way
it,
too
yeah, you
awesome.
have to like have all these things attached to you to get the movie.
Anyways, we're
Right.
getting way off topic from True
I
Grit.
know. We'll go back to True Grit. Back to True Grit.
No, so can I share something about my experience while watching these movies?
Sure.
So I had going into this, I had not seen the original.
Mhm.
I had seen the remake. I had not seen the original, and we all kind of watched them on our own. Like we didn't like usually when we make these. For those who don't know, when we do these reviews, we watch them as a group before we film,
Yeah, I don't.
and sometimes we don't do it if we decide like the movie's too long or and whatnot. In this case, we did watch these separately, and I ended up watching both True Grit movies like back to back. And like I picked up on like lines from the original that were being said in the remake because it's been so long since I'd seen the remake, and it's like I could tell what lines were from the book, which were made up for the movie because of
That's
the
good. That's really
how they
good.
were said and everything, and watching the similar mannerisms.
I like
Watching
that.
this way, it was clear that the Coen brothers and everyone involved in the remake did their homework, researched the book, researched the original movie, did extensive work to make sure their remake was faithful to both versions.
I think that's really good because they don't. It's like if you don't do enough research as a director, it shows in the movie, like with the characters. Like I mean, with the old western, like a western film, you need to have some degree, I think, of like semi-accurate historical clothing on set for people to wear. I've heard,
Yeah.
but also it's like women often wore like long dresses with layers and like because
And what's
we're
interesting is we don't see that too often in either version. Like the only real female character is Maddie.
because it's like women, like unmarried young girls in the old west. I mean, like your, your
That's
father's
true, Alexa. But like I said,
yeah.
we don't see that too much in the remake or the
Yeah.
original because Maddie's
My
the only
fashion
real
history
female
buffs
character we
might
have, right? Will,
Sorry, what?
isn't Maddie like the only female character we have in both versions?
all that in this sort of
I
does me.
think,
Well,
yeah.
you get the mom briefly in the original, but she's not in it for very
Yeah.
long.
I mean,
And sorry, go ahead, Alexa. But I wanted to add in on
guys
something.
ever seen like in the like historic like old west towns of the saloons photos back in the day? What people wore is actually really interesting to look at, which can totally help you understand the Brit, I think, a lot. Total plus, guys.
And what
Anyways,
I wanted to, hold on, Jessica,
sorry.
I want to
No, go ahead,
add
Will.
on something.
Yeah.
So, Alexa, you said that there's stuff that we normally don't see in westerns, which is, I'm sorry, could you repeat what you mentioned about that?
About fashion, like historical costuming or like clothing that was worn by women. Because honestly, what I was getting at is someone who studied fashion history extensively and also has done studies of different time periods, just for like reference. I wanted to mention that because to me, when I'm anything involving a real time here that happened in America, I like to use historical history as a bit to help me understand the movie better. That's why.
Okay, no, because I think it goes not just for westerns, but for any
Yes,
movie
that
that
too.
focuses on a certain time period. Like, say, for example, they make a movie about World War II. Obviously, they're gonna
Yep.
try to get
Ken
that fashion
Burns.
right. Or if there's a movie taking place today, obviously they'll have some clothes that represent today's fashion.
Even something like Stranger Things with the 80s feel. Like
Yes. Oh
they
my gosh,
try to
yes.
get the look of the 80s, even if
Uh-huh.
it's not accurate, it feels like the 80s.
The other thing, yeah, And it's like, I mean, I was, oh my God, I decided so much Civil War stuff in high school. People, yeah, it was interesting times to be alive, I think, but also it was dangerous a lot.
Very,
So,
very dangerous.
And Jessup, but you mentioned something about how a reboot can be good, or if something that's based on an already existing property can be good, if the filmmakers do some research on the original source material.
Yeah,
And I can actually name a few movies that actually do that pretty well. One of the movies we reviewed fairly recently was The Shawshank Redemption.
exactly. Yeah.
Another movie I can think of was the second Creed movie. I remember seeing this on a flight. This is supposed to follow some events that take place after Rocky IV, which I know hasn't gotten the best reputation. Um, but I'm very impressed with what the director was able to accomplish. They made the Drago characters very interesting, and they gave them a backstory that I actually could really get behind. So, like Jessup said, if you know, the movie or show or the book that you're taking this, or you're making this movie from, then just do a little bit of research, go on Google or watch a few clips, and try to get a general idea of, okay, this is what people liked about this, and this is what we should avoid.
Yeah. Another good example is, have you ever seen an older movie called The Birdcage?
with Robin Williams,
Has Robin? Yeah, the remake has Robin Williams.
talks a bit, but I haven't seen the one.
But that's another example of a really good remake. The original was a French film. They changed the setting to America, and it actually really works. Another good one, which completely changes the setting completely. Seven Samurai and Magnificent Seven.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes just that changing setting is what you need to make a remake really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes also I know if the film is really good, it gets shown at the Cannes Film Festival as like an entries, right? And then if that only gets it more recognition, and that can literally get you like a nomination for like screenplay, I think, or which is good because I think it's good to appreciate really well researched films. Just
Well, let's talk about this. I think I don't know if you guys would agree with me on this, but I think it's safe to say that there's a pretty rare chance a remake is better than the original.
Yeah.
I think
Sometimes I
sometimes
think
it
it
is.
can happen.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, it's not that often.
Yeah. Well, and even things that come close, I will admire.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
No, there's a few I can name that are pretty close to
Hmm.
matching the original.
Yeah.
Like I thought the remake of Cinderella was pretty good, believe it or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Um. Yeah. Little Mermaid wasn't I wouldn't say it was a great movie, but I thought it was a lot better than a lot of remakes we've gotten from
Yeah,
as of
I thought it
late.
was decent.
Yeah. And I admire the things it did really well.
Hmm. Hey, in fact, I think that's gonna be our next review.
Oh
I
yes.
saw The Color Purple yesterday, so which is based on a
Oh
book.
yeah, that's right. Wasn't there a Color Purple movie coming out? A new
Yes, I
one?
actually did see that, believe it or not.
Not yesterday.
How was that remake?
It was
Okay,
amazing.
so little backstory. I actually went into this remake not knowing anything about the Color Purple. I didn't read the book. I didn't see the Broadway show. I didn't see the original with Oprah Winfrey, I think it was.
I've seen a staged version of the Broadway. Like not like I've seen the staged version, so I know the plot.
So basically, I went into this movie completely blind.
What'd you think?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought, the musical numbers were really good. I thought Fantasia was really good. I think she was in the original. I don't know. I know she won American Idol a while ago.
Mhm.
It shows she can really sing.
Yeah.
Broadway,
Um,
I was saying Broadway, those actors, it's like at least to get you had to do at least 10, over 10 shows before you got selected for casting because you need that vocal range.
hmm
Okay. Well, so Little Mermaid's next.
Live action Little Mermaid.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's go
All
under the
right,
sea. Let's do it.
let's do it. We shall see you guys next time.